Hello, my name is Kathy Webb. I'm a practice support coach here at Charlotte AHEC. We support independent clinics through a broad range of services that include meaningful use and quality improvement programs. Today I'm going to be discussing the MACRA program that Medicare put into place on January 1st, 2017. You've heard for some time now that change was coming to Medicare Part B payments. Well, MACRA is that change. So how do we get here? Well, first you have to understand what MACRA is. MACRA, or the Medicare Access and CHIP Reauthorization Act of 2015, replaces the Medicare Sustainable Growth Rate Payment System, or what we know as the SGR, that's been with us over the past couple of years. MACRA is a new Medicare payment model called the Quality Payment Program. This new model will change the way Medicare rewards clinicians, moving their payment structure away from paying for volume to rewarding true value. Payments will now come from providing high-quality patient care services. 2017 will be the first year to participate in the Quality Payment Program. This is called the transition year as we move forward into MACRA reporting. Not everyone will be eligible, though. Those who will participate in the first year are physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, clinical nurse specialists, and certified registered nurse anesthetists. Just know that CMS plans to extend this list by including more clinicians throughout the coming years. If you are a provider who cares for a low number of Medicare patients, there is a threshold in place that could exempt you from participation. Providers need to bill $30,000 a year or more in Medicare Part B allowable charges and this is the key, and provide care for 100 or more Medicare patients a year. Both thresholds need to be met to be eligible. Also, if you are one of those eligible providers and choose not to participate in 2017, there will be a 4% penalty adjustment to your Medicare payments in 2019. So let's talk about how you can avoid a payment adjustment. MACRA has two different payment tracks, MIPS and APMs. You'll need to determine which track you will need to take. So we're going to learn about each of them. The first payment model that we'll be talking about is MIPS, which is the Merit-Based Incentive Payment System. Most providers will be participating in this track for 2017. MIPS combines three existing Medicare programs that will help ease the burden of all that repetitious reporting that is required. PQRS, Physician Value-Based Payment Modifier, and Medicare Electronic Health Record Incentive Program combine to become that MIPS program. These programs did not disappear, though. Their names have changed to more mirror what their topics are about. PQRS is now Quality. The Meaningful Use Program is Advancing Care Information, and the Value-Based Modifier is the Cost category. CMS added one other category called Improvement Activities, making a total of 4. I'm just introducing you to these new categories right now. Make sure to watch other HEC talks that go into more detail about each of them. All of the categories except the cost category include specific measures or activities to be worked through. But this time, providers are able to choose what are most meaningful to their practice and not be held to that one-size-fits-all model. The cost category is a score that you will receive based on the cost-effective care and efficient use of Medicare resources that you provided during that year. Reviewing and understanding your QRUR reports can help prepare you for this category. There is a QRUR HEC talk available that can help explain the report and how it relates to what you might score. Make sure that you watch this informative talk. Completed measures and activities accumulate points towards a total composite score. Depending on what points you get from your composite score, your Medicare payment percentages could remain the same. You could receive an upward payment adjustment, or you could end up getting a penalty attached to your Medicare payments. Since we just barely touched on macro scoring, I want to let you know that there is another HEC talk that focuses on this topic too. To learn how to calculate your composite score and more, this talk will be important for you to watch. You also have options for how you can report through MIPS. Like meaningful use, providers participating in the MIPS track can choose to report as an individual or as a group. An individual provider will report using their own MPI and TIN numbers. Reporting as a group would be for 2 or more providers billing under a single TIN. Keep in mind that each of the reporting providers will get assessed and scored in all 4 of the MIPS categories together. We talked about who was able to participate in the MIPS track, but you also need to know who would be exempt. Any provider who enrolls in Medicare for the very first time would be exempt from reporting that year and would start the next year. Providers who do not meet the criteria we just talked about, billing $30,000 or less and caring for 100 or less Medicare patients a year, would also be exempt. And anyone who is significantly participating in an advanced APM is also exempt from MIPS reporting. This is part of an APM, which you will learn about next. Participating in an alternative payment model is the second track under the macro payment program. This model is different from MIPS. Rather than the 4 topics of MIPS that we learned about, the focus of an APM is on providing care to a specific clinical condition, a care episode, or a patient population. And there are 2 types of alternative payment models that you'll need to understand. The first is a MIPS APM, where providers are eligible to use the MIPS track and they are participating in an APM too. They are still responsible for reporting the cost and quality of the care they provide to Medicare patients through their alternative payment model. This type of provider receives incentive payments based on their scores in the MIPS categories of cost and quality that are defined in that program. The benefit of this model is that their scores are calculated on a higher APM scoring standard than those from a MIPS program. This helps them get a better score just for participating in that APM. The second APM is an advanced alternative payment model that I mentioned earlier in the talk. Advanced APMs are a subset of alternative payment models. To be an advanced APM, 3 criteria must be met. The first is that all participants use a certified EHR, which I hope most of you already do. Next, the advanced APM pays incentive payments for evidence-based, reliable, and valid quality measures, which are comparable to those included in the MIPS category. And last, the advanced APM needs to be either a medical home expanded model, or they need to require anyone participating through their advanced APM to take on more than a nominal financial risk for the monetary losses that the advanced model receives. It may be difficult to become a qualifying advanced APM participant and receive the rewards associated with it. To qualify, the provider has to receive 25% of their Medicare payments or see 20% of Medicare patients through that advanced model. And if these percentages are not met, the reporting moves back to a MIPS APM scoring model. But there's an upside to being an advanced alternative payment model. Qualified participants receive an automatic 5% lump sum bonus payment, and they are exempt from reporting through MIPS. They will still need to perform quality work and report their quality data through their APM. As you can see, the APMs are offering more benefits to participation in this model. This is because CMS has set a goal for moving more providers towards this payment path in the future. CMS has a wealth of resources to help you get more information on the coming changes. If you are interested in the 2017 alternative payment models that CMS has approved, there's a complete list on the Quality Payment Program website. This is just an example of what you can find there. To wrap up, MACRA is the new payment model for Medicare clinicians called the Quality Payment Program. The first year of MACRA is 2017, the transition year, as providers settle into this new process. Providers who make less than $30,000 in Medicare payments and see less than 100 Medicare patients a year are exempt from reporting. MACRA has two different tracks to getting paid through Medicare, MIPS and APM. MIPS provides measures and activities that providers choose from to accumulate points toward a composite score. The composite score determines what adjustments, if any, will be in place in year 2019. Most eligible providers will be participating in the MIPS program this year. There are benefits for participating in an alternative payment model, as well as financial risks. To learn more about the MACRA program, be sure to visit the CMS website at qpp.cms.org. And make sure to listen to the rest of our HEC Talks as we continue to educate you about the many changes that are coming through the MACRA program.
Thank you for watching this HEC Talk. Your feedback is valuable to us and will help us to bring you more information on the topics you need to know about. Please provide us with your valuable feedback by clicking on the link in the video description and answering our short 2-question survey.